And one of the greatest gifts within trauma, one of the greatest things about having experienced trauma, is it gives you the ability to discover yourself as love. Hello my friends, it's Chris here from the School of Embodiment, and today I'm going to give you a practice to help you regulate your nervous system if you've been through trauma. So the traumatized nervous system can be really hard to live with, and it can cause a lot of stress and a lot of strain, and it can cause a lot of suffering. So a lot of the videos on this channel, we speak about trauma. I've made a lot of videos about regulating the nervous system, dealing with anxiety, dealing with trauma. So here's another one, and I haven't really spoken about this before. And I want to talk about breathing into the contractions and the emotions that we have within our body. So if you're feeling any kind of tension, any kind of trauma, if you feel like your nervous system is tight and tense, then I invite you, as always, to scan your experience with your attention, to place your attention in the body. Now for some of you, you may be able to just feel the whole extent of your body. If you've been practicing these practices for a while, it may be easy for you to allow your attention to flow through the body and to fill your body with your attention, to feel every cell within your body. And as well as feeling every cell within your body, you can also feel the tension that you're feeling inside with your attention. It's like these tensions, these trauma holding patterns in the body which can cause us suffering, they're kind of like dense blocks of ice, and they're dense and they're tight and they're holding on, and our attention, our awareness is like warmth, and we bring this warmth into those blocks of ice. We bring this warmth, the warmth of our being, the warmth of awareness, the warmth of our attention into these blocks of ice. Now what happens if you bring warmth to a block of ice? Well, obviously it begins to melt. But you don't have to rush the melting of these blocks of ice. You just bring the heat to them and allow them to melt of their own accord. You can't force them to melt. You're not going in there trying to break it up, trying to get it to melt really quickly. You're just bringing your attention into it, and in bringing your attention into it, gradually, as you're feeling the tension, as you're feeling your body, these contractions, these blocks of ice may begin to feel held and received by your attention. You may even feel the impulse to rub your heart like this. You may feel the impulse to rub your belly like this. You're bringing this sweet attention into the tension that you feel inside. And then a third element you can bring is you can breathe into these places of tension. So you bring attention into the contraction, and at the same time you breathe into it. You allow your lungs to expand. You allow your breath to stretch the fascia and the tissue surrounding the tension. But remember, You're not trying to get rid of these tensions. All you're doing is you're bringing warmth to them. And they can stay for as long as they want. You're bringing warmth to them. And you allow them to melt in their own time. They may be really, really, really dense, really, really, really cold. And so it may take a while of you breathing, feeling, being in the body for these tensions to start to soften, even just a little bit. So give this a go. Scan your body. Allow your attention to fill your body. And if you notice any places of contraction, places of tightness, you fill this with the warmth of your attention. You fill these contractions with the warmth of your attention. Because, my friends, what you really are is love. Now, if you've been on the spiritual path for a while, you may have heard this hundreds of times. But if you're traumatized, you don't feel like love. You feel fucking pissed off, angry, fearful. Sometimes you might feel loving, but a lot of the time you feel shit. You feel angry. You feel frustrated. But what you are is love, and this is not a concept. You do not have to take this on as a concept. You can realize it within your own experience. And one of the greatest gifts within trauma, one of the greatest things about having experienced trauma, is it gives you the ability to discover yourself as love. To discover that what you are is this love. Everyone talks about it. So many hippies always talking about, we're all love, man. And many of them, they might have experienced that on ayahuasca or on LSD. But if you've got trauma, you can come into an abiding state of knowing yourself as that love. So if you have trauma, you're lucky, because you can discover what everybody else is talking about. And of course, everybody can discover this. You don't need trauma, but trauma definitely helps you discover it. And one of the best ways in which trauma helps you to discover it is by you having the intention to bring warmth into the contractions of energy that the traumatic experiences created within your body. And if you bring that warmth, and another word for that warmth is if you bring attention gently into these contractions within the body, then they begin to melt. Because they're contractions of energy, they're contractions of life force energy, they're not bad. And so when they melt, when they come out of their contracted state, then they don't disappear from your consciousness. They disappear in a suffering, contracted way, but they become the light that they really are. They become a positive quality within your own consciousness. Thank you for listening. Much love to you, and I'll see you on the next one.